Hello, everyone, and welcome to my review of beautiful Columbus, Ohio. I was in Columbus on Sunday, February 18th, this past Sunday, on a windy, wintry day. And Columbus, it's the capital city of Ohio. It was founded in 1812 and it lies at the confluence of the Scioto and Olentangy rivers, so basically in the middle of nowhere. Um, and it's actually the largest city in Ohio with a population of 900,000. Um, but that's in large part because they annexed their suburbs. Um, Both Cleveland and Cincinnati are actually bigger metro areas than Columbus, but Columbus proper has a bigger population than both. It's stupid, I know. If I could describe Columbus in one word, it's boring. But to be fair, there's more to it than just that. So I think perhaps the best way to evaluate it is with a list of pros and cons. So starting with the pros, I did notice that the city has done a good job with plenty of aesthetic development. So there's a river promenade in the downtown on the Scioto River. It's called the Scioto Mile, and very nicely landscaped, nice promenade, runs for, I'm assuming, a mile, hence the name. Perfectly nice looking and well developed. Also, the North Market, which is sort of your like locally sourced food market, all sorts of different vendors. I actually got lunch there. I got African food. It was really good. There was plenty of different vendors in there. I think there was like Polish, and I saw, I don't know, a whole heap of stuff. There was Indian food too, but my food was really good. There were plenty of people in there. It was an old brick building. I was a fan, so definitely got points for the North Market as well. And then from there, I drove to the Short North, which is, I would describe it as, I think, Columbus's main sort of commercial shopping leisure district in their city. And it leads from that North Market, which is essentially in downtown, and then it goes north to Ohio State University. And the Short North, it's nice too. It's urban, which I appreciated. The buildings are wall to wall. There is some nice architecture mixed in there. There's local businesses I saw, plenty of commercial actually, which was really nice. All sorts of restaurants that weren't just not just your McDonald's or your Chipotle, and that's there obviously, but there was actually like locally owned business, which is nice because here in Cincinnati, it's like mostly fast food and there's a big shortage of commercial, I've noticed. So that was actually really nice. There was like the buildings were decently tall. There were some mid-rises. Yeah, wall to wall. It was good. It was urban. There were people walking. So big fan of that. I liked it. It ran on that street, High Street, that the Short North runs on. It's one main street. It runs for a long time. It might even run outside of the city limits. I'm not sure. So big thumbs up for that. Yeah, next, that brings me to my next point of the urban connectivity in Columbus, which is actually pretty good. I was driving around for most of my visit. I didn't run into a lot of problems with connectivity in terms of the grid. It's very flat, which helps, but a lot of streets, north, south, east, west, nice grid that I didn't have to use maps that much actually to get around. And just kind of, once I was touring, like, just going wherever I wanted to go, it was pretty easy. I didn't run into a lot of dead ends or freeway blockages. I mean, it's there. It's in every American city. The freeway's in every American city. But you can totally get north to south, east to west pretty easily without a lot of problems. So I appreciated that. It made it feel more like a city. There's a bus system. I saw downtown that I saw a bus stop with a map. That's always good. And then the next neighborhood I checked out, German Village. That was cool too. Definitely one of the more historic um, areas of Columbus. I put that in parentheses because Columbus, it's iffy on the history. It's relatively new compared to a lot of the other Midwest cities, but I'll get into that. German Village, there's some cool architecture there. Cobblestone streets, that was nice. Like the cobblestone in the streets, good touch. Again, lots of businesses, some people walking around. Yeah, it was nice. And then, yeah, there's architecture in the city. It exists. There's interesting architecture there, old brick stuff and what have you. It's mixed around. It's not there all the time, but it's there if you go looking for it. So that brings me to the cons, which there are plenty of. All right, I'm gonna keep it honest. Columbus is full of heaps of ugly post-war houses, bland, modern, ugly, like sheet metal. I don't even know the material. Some neighborhoods, they just look copy-paste, cookie cutter, whatever you want to call it, tomato. It's ugly, it's uninspired, it's uninteresting, and it's a collection of suburbs that forms into a city. There's a general lack of identity and history in this city. I mean, it's just historically was founded later than a lot of other cities in the Midwest, but this is particularly problematic for me because if you're going to be a city in the Midwest, like if you're going to be a smaller city, what you have to have going for you is the history. You have to have your Detroits and your Cincinnatis and your Chicagos and whatnot, where you have that Rust Belt identity, you have that lived in sort of aspect, the old Victorian homes. You can be decrepit, but you have to have that history, and it's just not there in Columbus. It's just not. It seems like a city that was built for the purpose of, I don't know, I guess the university there and the corporate factors, like the downtown corporate jobs. I don't know what's headquartered there, but they have plenty of high-rise office towers. It's just a suburb commuter city. It didn't seem special to me. The downtown is ugly. There's one cool building there that kind of reminded me of the Tribune Tower in Chicago. Not sure what the building was called in Columbus. It was nice. There was some other cool, like once I actually walked around downtown, there was a few cool buildings for sure. But most of them ugly, 60s, 50s, blah, blah, blah. Need not say more. OSU is the main identity of the city, I guess, going back to that kind of, it's massive. It goes on forever. It's kind of ugly. A lot of the buildings look the same. It's kind of the only reason I feel like Columbus has any sense of pride or identity. It's OSU, but at least there's a lot of people in that area by OSU. There's a lot of people in the short north and whatnot, but otherwise, holy crap, this city's a ghost town. There's no one downtown. There's no one. This was my problem. In the areas that they've done a good job with, like the Scioto Mile, that river promenade, there's no one there. There's no one walking around there, so you have no reason to hang out there. It feels awkward. I saw maybe a few people running or walking dogs, but otherwise, no one's hanging out there. And granted, I was there on a Sunday, so could be a little different during the week. And there were people in the North Market, sure, but outside of that, downtown, dead. No one's walking around. Neighborhoods, most of the neighborhoods, dead. No one's walking around. Just felt weird and like a ghost town. And it doesn't help that the city is surrounded by farmland. Once you're outside of the metro, it's just farms. There's just nothing there. So it also adds to that sense of ghost town in the middle of nowhere. Frankly, it reminds me of Sacramento, California, because it's also kind of just in a farmland city, middle-sized city in a farmland. But overall, Columbus, I understand why you might live there if you have a job or go to school there, I guess. I would personally never live there. My rating is 6 out of 10. Yeah, there's some things to appreciate, and it's not the worst by any means, but it's not somewhere I'd ever live. So that is my review on Columbus, Ohio. Thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in to the next video. Thank you.